My my dear academicians, as well all of my beloved students of different high schools, higher secondary schools, science colleges, as well engineering colleges throughout India. Now, I am on behalf of Vishwarashmi Space Laboratory as the founder of the Vishwarashmi Space Laboratory, going to provide you the most brilliant informations about our new age has stimulated the teaching and learning of many new subjects. And of these new subjects, there is one that stimulated the imaginations of millions, that is rocket. It seems that nearly all same time or another have had the desire to build and launch rockets. The excitement generated by the space programs has stimulated the compelling enthusiasm within the young minds to build rockets, to expose the various subtopics of space science in exhibition and workshop form as well. But building rocket is dangerous. Most of the enthusiastic young people do not know where to begin because non-professional rocketeers do not have the expensive equipments, the training, nor experience to build rocket from scratches. This existed a need for a safe, relatively inexpensive forms of rocketry, and this is this is how the Dynamic Rocketry Club come into existence at various educational institutions throughout India 15 years ago. Many exhibitions and workshops on dynamic rocketry, a challenging educational activities. When a student finishes building a dynamic rocket, he is swelling with pride. And after this rocket has blasted off, rocketed skyward, and returned to Earth, one sees within him a thrilling excitement. With dynamic rocketry, one can illustrate space age principles with unsupposed, unsurpassed effectiveness, and at the same time give students a chance to explore related fields. As a result of their unlimited possibilities, they can also be used in many educational institutions. Launching, tracking, and recovering of the rocket provided an excellent opportunity for students to experience success and develop a sense of pride in their accomplishment and apply some of the mathematics they have been studying. Concepts such as distance, velocity, acceleration, momentum, Newton's law of motion and gravitation, aerodynamic forces, thrust, drag, lift, and gravity, Bernoulli's principle, the elements of propulsion, etc., are easier to comprehend when they get involved in the dynamic rocketry activities. Apart from enjoying the work, the children learn several aspects of rocket launching, projectile motion, thrust mechanism, and stability in a very informal manner. The students began preparing dynamic rockets using the explosive engine. These dynamic rockets attain heights ranging from 50 meters to 4 kilometers. These rockets are good because they are harmless. They learn the various aspects of designing the dynamic rocket, the importance of fins, nose cone, stability, launching mechanisms, etc. After achieving certain degrees of proficiency at constructing simple dynamic rockets, they may proceed to prepare double-stage and multi-stage dynamic rockets and using simple and less expensive engines. In this function, different aspects of dynamic rockets have been discussed. We discussed here construction of simple dynamic rockets, stability, and the instruments to measure the height achieved by the rocket because many assets can be incorporated into dynamic rocketry. A variety of projects are possible, such as dynamic rockets with recovery mechanisms or the ones carrying payload design and constructions of instruments for altitude measurements, etc. These projects are being pursued by the members of the Dynamic Rocketry Club of the Vikram Sarabhai Community Science Center. Dynamic Rocketry Club. A dynamic rocketry club at a school or at any institution provides a base for the children to develop and pursue this wonderful activities. They only they not only learn to construct simple dynamic rockets, but also learn basic underlying principles among the development of experimental skills in a non-formal way. Officiating in charge of the rocketry club may make group of students with a leaders for every group. Conduct activities connected with the dynamic rockets, such as constructions of the rockets, design, and fabrications of instruments for dynamic rocketry. Frequent competitions between different groups encourage students to put in maximum effort to get the basic results and work towards perfection. Although the materials required for dynamic rocket is cheap and indigenous, indigenously available. It is the competitive spirit develops to attain the perfection with grand success. Discussion among students at various stages helps them to exchange thought regarding the designing aspects of the rocket. Frequent to put their ideas into action with necessary guidance, experimentation, huh? କହିବି ତ? Into action with necessary guidance. Experimentations and interactions at different stages help them to develop a scientific approach. A discussion about the performances of the dynamic rocket help them to correct their mistake and design new experiments new experiments till they achieve the best result. They learn to work in a group training that is very important for any research or developmental work in future. Thank you all. Jai Hind. এই যে ওটা দেখা